Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly broadcast. Good to see everyone. And I'm hoping to be able to get everything going for everyone. I'm going to set up our friends on Instagram and we'll be ready to go. So let's begin right away. Tapping. We have our laser on CV4 for energy for everyone. Blood flow to the brain. A general tune-up for everyone. But first, what I'd like you all to do is to sit with your feet flat on the floor, palms face up. And we'll do a quick breathing exercise to put everybody into a relaxed state. So you're going to be breathing through the nose, and it's going to activate your relaxation response, your parasympathetic nervous system. So you'll breathe all through your nose, and you will be able to count with me. So ready, breathe in and count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still through the nose, count out to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So blood flow to the brain, and we will tap for intrigued settler to lose weight. We're also going to be tapping for Matthew. We are now live on YouTube. Command points, so blood flow to the brain command points, and we will work on weight loss and regenerate bones, which is also good for perfect blood. So blood flow. So I'm going to sit back a little bit so you can see everything that's working out great. And again, welcome to Tong. Sorry. Vertebral artery to spinal artery. C1 to C7, but T1 for the bones, bone regeneration. C6, C7, T1, that's all about the bones. It's the calcium balancing, which is bones in, bone building, and bone pulling away. And we have Anne, elevated platelets. And I don't know if I got a response, but I was asking if you are low on vitamin B12. That's one way they can do that. So I have the laser on Mr. Laser there on CV4 for energy for everyone. Does anybody need energy? Nobody? All right, I'll take it all. Joe and Chi buddies, yes. Nitika for the brain tumor. Tap for Faris is here, so everybody's here. And also Esther, and I have some good news for Catherine McGlynn. So C6, C7, T1 for the bones, T1 for the perfect blood, of course. T1, 2, 3, 3 for the lymph. And we'll do a complete lymph tune-up right after this. So do we have anybody on Instagram. Let me know if you're there. Susan, performer, horrific, strangling of my sciatic nerves of the left. Cannot walk. Oh, sorry to hear that. So definitely, we're talking about sciatic, which is definitely yoga is good for that. If you're able to do leg lifts, legs to chest, twisting, pigeon pose, modified pigeon pose if you have any issues with your knees. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So the inflammation, we're also going to work for Matthew, Esther, Catherine, and Jay. So the microbiome for everyone, T11, T12, L4, L5. Looks like I'm broadcasting on Tongren Station. I don't know if I'm supposed to be... Yep, I think that's okay. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's do a complete lymph tune-up. That's really important for everyone. That's garbage collection, moves out toxins, also has some immune capabilities as well. Axillary lymph. For perfect blood and lymph. So the 2 armpits. Two groin areas, CV4, the lymphatic duct, CV4, CV12, stomach 11, and stomach 12. So like I say, everybody just relax, take in a deep breath. Then the vagus nerve down the torso. Phrenic nerve to the diaphragm, and that's its job. Additionally, 2 areas for perfect blood. Cranial sacral fluid, which nourishes the spinal nerves and the bone marrow. So, GB789 and tailbone 1, 2, 3, 4. And GB39, extra special point for just make a quick note here for my students. And also, we don't want to miss anything for regenerate bone and cartilage. So GB20, pituitary, and the master point for bone, cartilage, and muscle, BL9. and then vertebral artery to the spinal artery, and then to boost blood for the lower extremities, T7 right side, and the hip. So hip to hip, for the right hip, which is painful for intrigued settler, and the nerves, brachial plexus. And always remember, if you put your mind in the spot we're tapping, it brings additional energy. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, anti-inflammation for everyone, immune boosting. The pandemic seems to be waning, but as I've researched and found, we inhale about 100 million viruses a day. So we'll keep vigilant and keep our eyes out for attacks. Last week's broadcast, if you refresh, it should show you the new one. And let me know if that's working. Good thing I wore a different shirt and sweater. So, vagus nerve, sky window, down to CV4. So let's continue on. We have Jim Benton, Kimby's, and we will now go for Ann Denning, elevated platelets. So blood flow to the brain. And I'm being told I have an appointment Friday. It's not in there yet, but we'll take a look. So give everyone a tune-up for the major two systems, the bioelectrical and biochemical system of the body. GV 19, 20, 21, 22. Great, it was confirmed. It must have been recent, but that's perfect. I will double check my calendar. So platelets, where do platelets come from? They come from the bone marrow. What nourishes the bone marrow? Blood, bioelectricity, and cranial sacral fluid. Elevated platelets can be the result of B12 deficiencies or B12 absorption. So you need a secondary test of B12, which is your methylmalonic acid test. Vertebral artery to the spinal artery. So T1 for the bones and bone marrow. Usually the problem is too few platelets, but we have to think of it in context. Why would we have more platelets? Is there blood clotting going on? Which I don't think. I just think it's something simpler. And if you have a history, you should look to see if that's your normal from years before. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Bone marrow, T1 for the platelets. Cranial sacral fluid for the bone marrow, GB789. Tailbone 1, 2, 3, 4. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And also bone points, GB39 for the platelets. Spleen indirectly. Spleen is kind of a regulator of B cells and other kinds of cells, recycler of cells. So GB789, cranial sacral fluid, and tailbone 1 to 4. So let's work on Susan Decker for the sciatic and a few people. Different requests, abdominal hernia, and Kimby's. Yep, we don't want to miss you. You're next as well. But I wanted to work on sciatica. So 3 parts. Nerve flow, brachial plexus, lumbar 4 and 5, S1, S2 especially, GB39. And blood flow to the area, T7 right side. T1 to T12. Vagus nerve, sky window. And then down the torso. And down to the knee, GB50. Stomach 36 for energy for everyone. Kimby's, you're next. Detox, adrenal health, and healing of third-time broken foot, causing frustration and depression. Blood flow to the brain. And also we'll work with Jim Benton. So the platelets have been increasing for the last 3 years. Okay. How about your B12? Has that been decreasing over the last 3 years? Have you been transitioning to a vegan diet? Vegan diet is excellent, but it requires B12 and B vitamins to support the B12. So let's work on broken right foot. Let's work on the pituitary, the growth hormone. Broken right foot, frustration and depression, GB13 right side. GB19, 20, 21, 22. So next we're going to work with Kimby's Detox. So let's begin. Blood flow, nerve flow, detox organs, T4, T9. T4 for the skin, T9 for the liver, and L2 for the kidneys. Definitely Kimby's for depression, lots of fermented foods, high fiber diet, ton of water, and there are certain herbs called adaptogenics which will be good in this situation. So let's also work for Esther, T123, 478, the anti-inflammation. For detox, the microbiome, everyone, T11, T12, L4, L5. GB13 for frustration and depression, GB13 right side. Depression is based on the gut, so more fermented foods, more happy, joy, laughing yoga would be a good option. Command points of the brain stem. GV17 especially, the microbiome. For detoxing T11, T12, L4, L5. That's why we have our colon cleanse 7-day program. Actually, it's starting a week from Saturday. Deadline is tomorrow. To join, we've got 7 people from Europe, 4 people from US. It'll be fun. So let's work on blood flow to the right foot, nerve flow, brachial plexus, out point right foot. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1, also good for the bones, kidneys and bones, Chinese medicine. But let's work on adrenal health. L1, L2. L2 for the adrenals. L1 for the adrenals. So let me hear from people. See how you're doing. Better, worse, or the same than last week? And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Julia, okay. Something's weird. The order is changing on these things. Oh, okay, we're good. We're good. So next is Jim. Julia, we will get you in there too. And then Matthew, nonverbal, accessing the brain, similar to points I would use for autism. Blood flow to the brain. You've refreshed several times. Oh, probably because I was a minute late. Because it says you were 26 minutes ago and we're at 6:28, so it must have been right at that time. Abdominal right hernia, type 2 diabetes, and Parkinson's. So let's talk about that. Type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance, which can be reversed by managing your saturated fat intake from animal products. Even plant-based fats as well should be limited. High fiber diet, cleansing, removing junk food. Type 2 diabetes is an inflammatory condition primarily caused by insulin resistance. Next, we also have Parkinson's. So let's work on these. Blood flow, nerve flow. GB789 for the brain and the substantia nigra part of the brain. Blood flow, type 2 diabetes, pancreas, T8, right side. CV4, the laser is perfect for Parkinson's as well, as you can see with my Mr. Laser partner here. So Parkinson's is also about the gut-brain axis. If you have constipation, that can be a sign of one of the causes of Parkinson's. But T8 pancreas. T1, T1, 2, 3, 4 for Parkinson's, anti-inflammation. Microbiome, T11, T12, L4, L5. And if you didn't show up on Instagram before, for some reason it didn't connect, so I just did it again. My apologies. So let's work on the hernia right side. So blood flow T7, ouch point right side, inguinal area. Make a quick note. So CV4 for the inguinal area and the actual inguinal lymph hernia area. abdominal hernia, so it's CV4. And trace all the muscles to the right. Whoops, got to keep this up. And down to the earth, CV4. Also good for the type 2 diabetes. Grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. It is great to see everyone. Hope you're all doing well. In this part of the earth, we are entering spring. Others are going into fall. But let's work right now on Matthew and Henry and Fran. So let's do that. So for Matthew, GB789, nonverbal, digestion, his syndrome, blood flow to the brain, GB13, right side, left side, balancing, GB13, right side, left side, balancing the frontal lobe for Matthew. Good to see you, Henry. Next, we have Julia. Speech Control Center for Matthew. GB19. Broca and Wernicke areas, I'm sorry. Also GB789. Vertebral artery, spinal artery. T8 esophagus. So let's work on the entire digestive tract for Fran. So that's part 1, the bioelectrical blockage, T8, right side, chemo side effects. If you're not on chemo, alternate detox with clay baths. Had it today, so tomorrow I'll have a bunch of clay, as long as you're having your chemo break. So for all cancers, including AML and other cancers, let's do the oxygen protocol for both of you. Phrenic nerve, sky window, CV17 for the lungs and breathing, lung 1, lung 2 for oxygen, which is anti-cancer. And let's repeat that for everyone again, since it's so important. Sky window, phrenic nerve, which goes down to CV17, and the diaphragm, which manages oxygen capacity in the lungs. And some more lung super points. Lung 1, lung 2. And let's continue. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Immune system boost for AML and esophageal cancer chemo side effects. For AML specifically, the bones. T1, GB39. And for Esther and her daughter, T7 right side for the blood flow to the lower extremities, sciatic GB39, bladder, sacrum 1 to 5, and for her daughter, L3 for fertility. Definitely contact Christine upon or the other acupuncturists. Yvonne is off on maternity leave. Belle is there. So for insomnia, I would definitely try taping the mouth. Contact the website consciousbreathing.com. So when I saw a message, you ordered the, the aloe vera, and you should have had a discount code. I can work out something for you for sure. So AML, craniosacral fluid to the tailbone, TB1, 2, 3, 4. Bone marrow, T1. T7, right side is actually for insomnia and sleep. And GB39 also for the bones and AML. And CV4 for energy as you're going through this process. In Tong for third eye, melatonin. Upper dantian, lower dantian, and upper dantian, middle dantian, and lower dantian. Liver 3 and kidney 1 grounding. So let's work 4, as I presume this to be Faris and Nikita and Esther. We did work for you. We got you. And let's add in transfusion reactions, chills, and shakes. Absolutely. Let's do that. Blood flow to the brain, but also Faris for his mom. Blood pressure fluctuations. I would definitely look into the consciousbreathing.com device. So where are all my Instagram friends? Did I mess it up? Thought it was live, and it wasn't live. Now it's live. Come on back. So the eyes for the ouch point. I heard some good tips for the eyes, the aloe vera person that I interviewed for 2 hours. And we will have another interview with her, very specific, maybe 30, 45 minutes. What are the uses, what are the types, and what are the direct uses of aloe vera? Very practical. We'll do it again. So, visual cortex, GB19. Blood pressure fluctuations, GB17. So the point of my story is gel in the eyes. Aloe gel, aloe gel in the eyes. And for Nitika, aloe vera, because as she explained it, it helps the insulin receptors in the base of the skull, goes across the blood-brain barrier, and then it nourishes and alkalizes and supports the brain. So C3, 4, and 5 for the eyesight, GB17 for the blood pressure, and for the eyesight and the brain tumor, the sky window, both sides. The eyes also are the kidney, the liver area. So T9 right side for the eyes. So sky window for the brain tumor, frontal lobe, GB13 right side. Optic nerve, right around GB19 for the vision loss, and visual cortex, GB19, gallbladder 19. Blood flow, nerve flow to the face, especially the right side, and then blood flow down the spine, and for the feet and emotional balance, again, GB13 right side. Everything on the lower extremities would be T7 right side for the blood, lumbosacral plexus for the nerve flow, and down the feet. And hello, Esther. What do we do now? Masterpiece Theater is like stopped. So let's tap for transfusion reaction for Julia Rose. And for Pondering Traveler, if I missed it, we'll get it. Oh, Esther, yep. But I didn't see this earlier, so I already worked with you, Esther, but we'll do it again. And for your daughter. Blood flow to the brain. Transfusion reaction. So let's work on metabolism. GV20, 22, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Body thermostat, GV20, pituitary. Sky window, left side, right side for the brain. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Pain relief. Lower extremities, T7, right side. And the bladder area, S1 to S4. Pain relief, ability to move, G17BL9 for mobility and lumbosacral plexus. Also support bladder 54. Let's add in a little extra for Julia. Tailbone, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the bone marrow. Again. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Liver 3 and kidney 1 on the top of the feet and the bottom of the feet. There you go. So if people are interested to join the colon cleanse, there's still one more day to join. After that, we have an oxygen medicine workshop. It looks like some of the requests are repeating, and that's okay. So here, Fran, esophageal cancer, chemo side effects. Had it today. Jim Benton, thank you. Calm creature, immune system, brain inflammation, CFS. Yep, hopefully we get the live video correct one. Sorry about that. I don't know why it delayed. So for SIBO, there's a note here, I can't do fermented foods or high fiber diet due to SIBO. Those are actually good for SIBO, but what I would highly recommend is the aloe vera, which is going to fix a lot of those situations for SIBO, LIBO, all those different things. You can't fix the gut unless you add in probiotics. You can't add in probiotics if you don't have fiber and you don't have probiotics or fermented foods, but you're probably on a mega dose fermented foods anyway. I think we talked about that before. Blood flow to the brain. And let's see, we have mermaid, immune system, blood flow to the brain, and immune system, and brain inflammation, and CFS. Sky window. Brain inflammation. Aloe vera would be great for that. It reduces inflammation systemically. But the medical grade one would be the only one that I would recommend. Breast cancer for kind creature. Metastases to liver and spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. For the immune system, mermaid. And T4 for the breast for kind creature. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, also for CFS. So T4 for the breasts, metastasize to the liver and spine. Good options for preventing metastases are red light therapies and micronutrients from Dr. Rath in Europe. T7 right side for blood flow. Work on the entire spine for kind creature and the liver. T9 right side. Good things for the liver. Castor oil packs. Also good for the breast. There's a book with good breast lump reduction techniques from Hannah Kroger, the woman who cured 5,000 kids of leukemia. Bitter herbs are good for the liver. Craniosacral fluid is good for the spine. TB789 and the tailbone 1, 2, 3, 4. Down and grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. And how's everybody doing? Hello. Sky window and phrenic nerve. Let me explain what that is. We'll do that right now. So in fact, I'll put in the code here for the aloe, and it is aloe force. I'll give you a 15% discount on all aloe for everyone. Sky window. Sky window is the side of the neck, SI 16 and 17, LI 17 and 18. And that covers the phrenic nerve. So to make it a complete process, sky window phrenic nerve to the target of the phrenic nerve, which is CV17, which is the diaphragm. The phrenic nerve has basically one job, and that's to activate the diaphragm to go up and down. So indirectly manages oxygen capacity and oxygen uptake. And that's good for everyone. And we'll just do one last check to make sure we have everything for everyone. And we did not cover specifically ascites. Let's do ascites and immune boost for everyone. Blood flow to the brain. Yep, 15. Immune system, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Microbiome for everyone, T11, T12, and especially SIBO, T11, T12, L4, L5. And grounding down to the feet, bladder 54. Catherine McGlynn, the eyes. So try some of the aloe gel in the eyes. C3 for the eyes. And again for Faris's mom. Cranial nerves for the eyes, GB789. And down, grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. And we did do the sciatic, GB39, 29 rather. A little extra for the sciatic, that sounds painful. Down to liver 3 and kidney 1. So we'll give everybody a little chi, and if you focus on the doll and the other screen, that's the lower dantian, which is the energy battery for everyone. Is anybody there? Did you do grief? Let's do that. Grief is the lungs, and GB13 right side. So lung 1, lung 2, T3, grief. Again, lung 1, lung 2 for grief, CV17 for the lungs, also for grief. GB13 for balancing emotions as well. So thank you for reminding me not to miss. And let's keep that in mind as we do our Qigong. For the lungs, for grief, for the heart, for joy. Thank you all for joining. We do a clearing for everyone. Blessings. Be kind to one another. These are challenging times. So the more positive thoughts we have, the less real estate for negative thoughts. Blessings to all of you. And one last for the people on Instagram, Emma, and a few others. Blood flow to the brain, pancreas, pancreatic, target and cancer, lymph T3, hilar nerve, hilar lymph especially, microbiome T11, T12, L4, and L5. CV17 and CV4 for the gut, CV17 for the pancreas, liver, esophagus, CV4 for the gut. Blessings to you, Esther, and everyone else. Thank you very much. Be kind to one another. Have a great day. Take care and continue. Go to other sessions to get the healing momentum going for you. And keep up the good work. And I'm here to support all of you. Thanks very much and be safe.